9440.
4405.
944405.
Welcome to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm John Garlick, and Chris Wright's not here, and the sheriff's not here, but I got my good buddy Cliff Mize. You might see him if you go by the courthouse. He's the guy hanging out there, you know, clearing you as you come through. How you doing, Cliff?
Good. How are you?
Glad to have you here. I need lots of support. Well, we had an interesting week last week. We had a snowstorm, all kinds of crazy stuff going on, but guess what? The people of Calhoun County came through again, and we had people arrested. What was the count last week?
I think we had 2 arrested last week, as a matter of fact. Even with the snowstorm and everything that was going on, people still took the time to let us know what was going on out there, and we made 2 arrests.
It's really amazing. You know, people can really have a direct impact on their community by calling in and letting us know where people are, helping us with those Crime Stoppers cases you see at the end of the show. The people at Calhoun County are just super, and they're always helping us out. Now, the weather was tough last week, so we had a lot of lessons learned. You know, we're not used to the snow and the cold down here in the south, and the roads are very dangerous. But, you know, there's always some tips about how to be safer, and so this is a good time to kind of talk about that. We're not out of the woods yet. We're still going to have some cold weather. Who knows? We may have another snowstorm. So, Cliff, what are some of the good things people need to do to stay safe when they're on the road in their car and get caught out there?
Well, I mean, speaking of your car, the first thing, of course, you want to make sure you got enough fuel in your vehicle. We had a lot of people that were having, a majority of their problem was from running out of fuel. And I mean, you get stuck in those traffic jams and stuff, and they were just running out of fuel. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you can pack a gym bag, you can pack a safety bag. And you just need to keep in mind, you need some comfort items, you need to get your information stuff in there, some cash available. You want to have some food items in there, as well as your emergency contact information.
Sure. And you know, the cell phone lines kind of were all tied up there for a few hours, and you know, Cliff's family has an interesting way of staying in touch with each other. And it's not smoke flares and stuff like that, which what Cliff usually communicates with. What do you guys do?
That is Indian, but it's not smoke signals anymore. We've implemented a little deal with our family where we go to my mom's Facebook page, and everybody posts their status on mom's Facebook page, and then if you can get on the internet, then the update is almost immediate. So the entire family can keep up with what's going on in your particular situation.
And that's great, because it's important. You know, be prepared if you're on the road and stuck. Need to be fueled up, need to have some ways to stay warm, maybe some food and drink, and to be able to communicate with your family. So, you know, take some time this week and get prepared, because who knows, there may be another one coming. But in the meantime, stay tuned with us, and we'll be back after the lineup with a really cool guest, and just stay tuned.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a rich
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Hi, I'm Crystal Meth. Try me once, I might let you go. But if you try me twice, then I'll own your soul. I take kids from their parents and parents from their kids. I'll take and take until you have no more to give. I'll take everything from you, your looks and your pride. I'll ravage your body and control your mind. Now that you've met me, what will you do? Will you try me or not? It's all up to you.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week, David Morgan. Mr. Morgan, last known to be living in Riverside, Alabama. He's wanted for probation violation on robbery first. And this is Lonnie Spinks II. Mr. Spinks, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to pay child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And take a look at Jamie McCrellis. Miss McCrellis, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation revocation on unlawful distribution of a controlled substance. And this is Stephen Otis. Mr. Otis, last known to be living in Ohatchee. He's wanted for failure to register as a sex offender. And take a look at Nikolai McElrath. Mr. McElrath, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation violation on theft of property seconds. And meet Elizabeth Turner. Miss Turner, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on unlawful manufacture of a controlled substance and writing bad checks. And here is William Bullock. Mr. Bullock, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for probation violation on burglary third. And last up for our first half, Melissa Smith. Miss Smith, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation violation on theft of property second. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links. In lieu of our usual parenting tip, I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss some of the upcoming events that we at Family Links are so excited to present. Our next Parent Project course will begin this Saturday, February the 8th, and will be held at Sachs Middle School. This parenting course is designed to educate and provide support to parents of strong-willed, at-risk youth. But this course is also designed to help parents be proactive and, as a preventative measure, learn the necessary skills to address common behaviors that parents encounter with their children. So parents, you don't want to miss this. For more information on how to get registered for this course, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911. Also, Family Links, along with Calhoun Cleburne Children's Center, is proud to announce our first annual fundraiser entitled Foothills Family Festival. This festival will be an all-day event taking place on April the 12th at McClellan and will begin with a Run for Funds 5K. For more information, visit the website foothillsfamilyfestival.com or contact Family Links at 256-820-5911. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
And welcome back. We appreciate you hanging with us. I hope you saw somebody in that lineup maybe that you can give us a call and let us know where they might be. But now it's time to talk to some good people doing wonderful things. Today we have our guest Edrick Cosby, who's a criminal justice student at Gadsden State.
Right.
And he's been doing some good learning and good work, and you're going to talk to us a little bit about social media stuff, aren't you?
Right.
All right. So, well, tell us first of all, how long have you been a student at Gadsden State?
Actually, I've been a student at Gadsden State about 2 years. So this is like my last semester there. Last semester, Scott Manners wanted me to do a assignment with 4 or 5 other girls about social media awareness. Mm-hmm. We was going to do that, present it to Chief Deputy Matthew Wade at the Sheriff's Office, and he was going to go around and talk to students about it.
And you did that?
No, that's what I did. I ended up here. It's actually a funny story, because I was sitting in another criminal justice class, and then he calls up the teacher, and she stops in the middle of class, and she asks me to step outside and call him. So when I call him, he's like, you know, in the way he says, he's like, Edrick Cosby, you're going to be on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. And that's what I said, and he sounds all upbeat and cheery about it, and I'm like, why you sound so happy about it? They're taking Aspire tag is real serious now. And he's like, no, you're going to be a guest on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
That's how Cliff found out too. I called him this morning and said, you're going to be on the show today.
Right.
Okay, so after you graduate, what are you going to do?
What I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer to Auburn University. That's what I plan on doing, which is actually going to be interesting because I'm an Alabama fan. Uh-oh. But my girlfriend, she's pursuing veterinary medicine, so that's how I end up going down there.
Yeah, girlfriends will get you into that kind of stuff.
Right, I sure will.
Yeah. Cliff's a big Auburn fan.
Oh, are you?
No, he didn't. LSU fan.
Oh, okay.
I can say go Tigers with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, all right. Tell us what you learned about, you know, all the social media stuff. What's the stuff we should be looking out for?
Okay, the big thing is this. If I want to leave parents with any message, I would want to leave them with the message of to be vigilant, to be constantly aware of what's going on. And they have certain programs in place that you can use to track the digital trail of your child, or of your significant other or whatever. It's called Teen Safe. That's a really good program, or MSpy. And what that allows you to do, you can see who they're messaging, and you can see which social media sites that they visit. Because like certain media sites like Facebook, I don't know if you was aware of the change that they made about 6 months ago. What they did, they said they were trying to allow teens more of a platform to voice their ideas about political processes and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So what they did, now when they post stuff, not only can the friends and the friends of friends see it, but the whole world can see it now. So you got the predators coming at them, you got advertisers coming at them, and you know teens don't always make the best decisions, especially financially.
Well, that's true, and we got to keep an eye on them. You know, we have a program called Family Links, which the people hear about on the show every now and again, and that's part of the classes is paying attention to the media influences and monitoring social media.
Right.
So, not just Facebook, it's all the other social media.
Right.
And so how can they stay vigilant? What can they do?
Like I said, they can talk to their children, like especially when you deal with stuff like cyberbullying, stuff like that. Because if you go to there's not many states that have strong legislative laws in place for cyberbullying, because you start getting into what people say on the internet, and that starts infringing on people's constitutional rights. You know, which people are a little bit hesitant of. They have schools that have things in place, but when the children get home, who protects them now? I don't know if you heard recently, Miss Tina Escoves, I think it might have been out in Texas, where on Instagram, they were taking the most popular students and they were posting them on the internet, nude photos of them. So she started to strike back against them. She's suing 7 of them.
Wow.
Right. It's because it becomes a child pornography issue, and not just defamation.
Well, we have that issue in schools too. We have texting and sexting, and kids are taking pictures, and you know, you end up getting teenagers under age of 16 doing silly things, and we're not going to prosecute them on felonies, but it's a felony.
Right.
And it could be dangerous. So if there's one thing you could say to parents that would help them protect their children, what is it? It's
be vigilant, and don't look at it as if you're spying on your child. Look at it as you're looking out for their safety, and keep like I say, stay vigilant. Keep look on what the sites they're visiting, who they speak to. And like I said, if they use something like Craigslist, for example, you want to know where they're going. You want to let somebody know where you're going. You want to meet in a public place. Law enforcement even recommends meeting in the lobby, meeting across from the police station, because they have things that media is calling robbery by appointment now, where people is doing transactions online, and when they show up, they're getting mugged. Absolutely. And like I said, so it's a little common sense thinking what it is.
Well, very good. Well, we appreciate you coming down here and giving us this information. I hope that the parents have listened and paid attention, because it is very, very important that you monitor your kids on the internet. You watch what they're doing, watch where they're going. And you know, if you're having problems at home, please contact Family Links. They've got programs to help with all this. And so we'll be back after this break. There's some more lineup to look at, see if you can recognize these people. We'll be back with a new guest in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Child sexual abuse is hard to talk about. Most children won't. So we have to. If you suspect a child is a victim of sexual abuse, find out how you can help. Call the 24-hour Child Help Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD. That's 1-800-422-4453.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
I'm Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Emerson. Don't risk your life and the lives of others by texting while driving. Put the phone down or safely pull over. Looking down for 1 second is all it really takes. Is it really worth it?
And welcome to the second half of our lineup this week. First up this half, Crystal McKinnon. Miss McKinnon, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation revocation on receiving stolen property first. And here's Joel Grizzard. Mr. Grizzard, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for failure to pay child support. another face of a deadbeat dad. And this is Dexter Davis. Mr. Davis, last known to be living in Anniston. He's also wanted for failure to pay child support, another deadbeat dad. And take a look at Alicia Porter. Miss Porter, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third and failure to appear on giving false name to law enforcement. And meet Jody Lee. Mr. Lee, last known to be living in Talladega. He's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third. And here is Darrell Coleman. Coleman, last known to be living in Fairfield, wanted for promoting prison contraband. And last up for our lineup this week, Alan Robinson. Mr. Robinson, last known to be living in Weaver, wanted for probation violation on domestic violence third assault. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. And welcome back. I hope you recognize some people in that lineup too, and maybe you can give us a call. We sure like to know where they are. You know, you call, we'll haul. But now we're back with a new guest. This time we've got Trace Fleming from Second Chance, and Trace is here to tell us all kinds of wonderful things that are happening in February. Yes. So what do we got? A billion rising something?
Yes, we do. We have 1 billion rising, and this is so exciting because this is something that we did last year, and it's just grown, and we're just part of something that's way beyond just Calhoun County, but actually global. It's amazing.
So 1 billion of who?
Well, and that's a wonderful thing. It's what it is that in a way, what it is that 1 out of every 3 women and girls will be subjected to a physical or sexual assault sometime in their lifetime globally. Roughly, when that breaks down, that's roughly 1 billion women are affected by these crimes. So what is being done is that a phenomenal group called the V-Day Foundation has come together to put on this 1 billion rising movement. Last year, 207 countries participated and had events across the world, and we participated in it as well, and we just couldn't pass up the opportunity to do it again. So we're having a major event at Jacksonville State University on February 14th.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Ah, is that because Valentine's Day is a romantic holiday and that's a high-risk thing, perhaps, or?
Well, the V-Day Foundation has always claimed Valentine's Day as a day of celebration and also a day of healing also, which is important. And they just also started to claim it as a day of revolution, which is, this rising really is 207 countries. It's a revolution. It's fantastic.
That's amazing. So other than the primary nations that are in, I imagine Canada and France and England and Germany, what are some of the smaller nations that we may not hear about that are hotspots?
They actually had events so far and so broad. I know that there were events in Iraq. I know that there were events all over the Middle East. Asia had some events. We had, just anywhere you can think of, there were people marching in the streets and dancing and celebrating and really demanding action to end violence against women. And that's what actually this year's theme is. Last year's theme was Rising, and this year is Rising for Justice. And that's exactly what this is adding not just a chance for people to come together and celebrate and demand action to end violence against women, but also to create a community dialogue using a variety of different means to have that happen.
Well, and here in this country, we talk about violence against women a lot, and I guess our percentage is probably 25 to 30% here too for abused women. But in some of those countries, it's a cultural thing. Some of those Middle Eastern countries, women are being oppressed and abused and sold, and so it's not just speaking up, it's revolutionary in those countries.
It truly is to see, and it's so inspiring to see truly women and girls and men also, which is also a huge component, that men are also joining the Rising as well, which is amazing. But the idea though is that there are people risking their lives to speak out about violence against women, and that is something that it gives me strength and keeps me as an advocate speaking out, as I have to be brave too. And that's what I hope for our community, is that they'll be brave and they'll come into our event see what we're doing and also help us create this dialogue and continue the dialogue, so demanding justice for women and girls.
So, you know, here in the United States, we can be a beacon for that international justice, and when the men and women rise here to stand up for it, we can be sending resources and showing support for the whole world. That's a good leadership role, and you're right there in the middle of it, aren't you?
I enjoy it. And you know, the thing is, what's for me though is just it's to be a part of something that's so much bigger than yourself, and just to know that you're touching someone's life. Last year, so many people came to us and just shared their stories about how through just dance, or how through somebody's spoken word poetry came out, or the art. We had incredible Native American singers who came and joined us and part of our community, and just truly made such a beautiful difference. And you know, to see that makes it just so much more just important to me to make sure that we're doing it again. So that's why we're so excited. So it's at Jacksonville State University, 4 to 6 p.m. It's a free event, and it's family friendly, which also is important. So my kids will be there dancing up a storm. I apologize in advance for the smallest one who might cause some damage.
Cliff knows how to dance. He can be there.
I expect a dance. I'm just saying. You know, I will be out there. We have some incredible people. Lyrical Forte, who's a spoken word poet who's very popular in our especially around JSU, is going to be there presenting some original pieces. Oh, wow. Just found out that Teomi Ray is also joining us, another spoken word poet who's incredibly popular in this area, which is just amazing to me that she's willing to join us. And we have a variety of different other dancing and media things that are happening. And Second Chance is going to be out there full force. We have T-shirts, and it's just incredible to see.
So they show up there February 14th.
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
At TNB Auditorium.
At the auditorium, and they can volunteer when they get there. You tell them how to participate after the event, right?
Absolutely, because we have so many things going on. Second Chance is really having some exciting stuff going on this year, and everything from really taking a look at elder abuse and really starting to see our community response teams and our volunteer teams growing. So there's lots of different opportunities for people to continue that dialogue after the event as well.
Super, and we'll have you back on the show, I know, later in the year. In the meantime, it's time to say goodbye to Trace, and we'll be back with your crazy criminal after this.
More than half of kids 12 to 17 years old have personal web pages, videos, or blogs. It's called social networking. As a parent, you should be monitoring your child's web pages. Find out the name of their site and go to it at least 3 times a week. Check for inappropriate material, for pictures, comments, and messages. Make sure your child doesn't post their personal information. Software is available to help you monitor your child's internet use. I'm Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Amerson. For more information, log on to our website or call the number on your screen.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Being with you was a blast. Our future together was looking pretty good. We had some great times. Everything was going so great. But you made a stupid choice that killed our relationship. I'm gonna miss you.
His choice was to drink and then drive. Underage drinking can cost you your freedom. Drinking and driving can cost you your future. There is no future with alcohol.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators with these cases. First up on your caseload this week, between January 23rd and January 26th, a still saw and Husqvarna chainsaw were stolen from this residence on Halls Chapel Road in Alexandria. And sometime between January 25th and January 27th, a suspect or suspects stole 3 heavy-duty vehicle batteries, diesel fuel, and miscellaneous tools out of an international truck and a John Deere tractor. The vehicles parked at this residence on Dripping Rock Road in Piedmont. And between January 21st and January 23rd, a suspect or suspects entered the cell tower site located on Peaks Hill Road in Wellington. A security camera system was stolen, and extensive amount of damage was caused to the distribution system. And between January 20th and January 27th, an automotive dual exhaust system, 2 industrial work tables, a scrap blade for a tractor and a scrape blade for a tractor, and 2 metal oil change ramps were stolen from this residence on Wood Mist Lane in Anniston. And on January 28th, the green Chevrolet Ventura was broken into. The vehicle was parked at a residence on New Liberty Road in Wellington. Witness observed 3 males stealing property from the vehicle. The 3 males left traveling in a red SUV. And on February 2nd, this residence on 6 Foot Road in Ohatchee was broken into. Jewelry, a firearm, a Makita drill, and other electronics were stolen. And on January 28th, the white Chevy Express van was broken into. The vehicle was parked near the 400 block of Highway 77 in Ohatchee. Various power tools were stolen from that. And last up on our caseload this week, between January 22nd and January 28th, suspect or suspects stole 7 16 3/4 by 18 1/4 steel alloy plates and 2 100-pound rolls of 3/4-inch steel strapping from this business located on Hollingsworth Drive in Glencoe. And that's it for your caseload this week. If you have any information on these cases, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, so we're back again. Now, this week's Crazy Criminal isn't really crazy because, Chris knows how to find the crazy criminal story. So we're going to talk about, you just got to be crazy sometimes to do these scams that are out there. And so we've got to be careful to not get sucked into some of these scams. One of the ones I just heard about is a leasing scam. So you put your house on the market, the realtor puts your pictures of the house out there and your information, and it goes on the internet. And then somebody rips that information from the internet and then loads in a false lease.
You gotta be kidding me.
A fake lease. They print out a fake lease, and either they move into the property with their fake lease. They go down to the locksmith and say, "Look, I've got a lease. I need keys." And
they'll cut them a key.
Yeah, I'll cut them a key. Or they'll turn around to somebody else and say, "Well, I'm leasing this property. Wouldn't you like to rent it?" Or they'll rent it to somebody else. So that's a huge problem, and they're trying to figure out how to deal with that. But just so you know, make sure that when you lease property, or if you're putting property out there, to pay attention to what's going on. And make sure you meet the person who's leasing it to you. And if you happen to be one of those folks who fall for this scam in the way that you're actually the person leasing the property, know that you're trespassing, you're breaking the law, and if you're holding that lease in your hand there, you got that lease, that's possession of a forged instrument. So be careful who you lease from. Now, Cliff, you got something with phone numbers that's just crazy. What do you got?
Something I heard about last week, these telephone numbers, and my wife and I actually got a couple, and it'll show up on your cell phone like it's coming from Grenada or somewhere else, and you're going, man, who in the world do I know from there? So your initial response is, I need to call it back because I don't know who it is. But the problem is that if you call it back, or Lord forbid, if you answered it to start with, it'll only last for about 30 seconds or so and it'll shut off, but it charges you $19.95 a minute on your cell phone bill.
Wow.
Yeah. And some of I had to use my little cheat sheet, but some of the area codes were area code 809, 876, 284, or 473 was some of the ones that I saw that we know for sure are linked to those. So if you see any of those, don't let your curiosity get the best of you and call it back. Just delete it and don't answer it.
So if you don't know the phone number that it's coming from, if you don't recognize the area code, don't call it back. Leave it alone, because it's probably going to cost you a lot of money down the road. So that's it for our show this week. If you know where to go to our website to find out what criminals are out there, we appreciate you tuning in, and we hope to see you next week, but hopefully not in the lineup.